ABC 13 Community Close-Up. Viva Houston.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Erik Barajas. Welcome to Viva Houston. This morning, meet an educator who traveled to Central America to learn and better understand the culture and social experience of her students. Well, next on Viva Houston, a teacher who traveled to Central America to learn more about her students' background and culture after these messages. Welcome back to Viva Houston. Under an educational grant from Fund for Teachers, ALIEF ISD teacher Debra Mabery traveled to Central America last summer to gain a better understanding of her students, many of whom are from that region. Ms. Mabery teaches English as a second language, also known as ESL, at ALIEF Independent School District's ELSIC 9th Grade Center. I want to welcome now Ms. Mabery. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Let's go ahead and talk about one of several summer fellowships awarded by the Fund for Teachers. Tell us about this grant.
Right. It's a wonderful program for teachers to be able to get out in the community and to learn more than just what's in a textbook. So they apply online and then they're awarded a grant to travel wherever they'd like to in the world.
It's some real hands-on experience.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, you traveled to several Central American countries. Can you tell us what countries you visited and about the experience as well?
Sure. I went to Honduras, to Nicaragua, and to Panama. And it was very interesting to be in Honduras during the time of all the political crisis with Zelaya being removed from the country and so forth. I was even stuck on a bus for 5 hours because of a political turmoil right in front of us. But the thing I learned most about traveling to these countries was how wonderful and how warm the people are. And now I understand why my students are so giving and sweet to me in school.
Sounds like a really good experience. I know we have some pictures as well from your travels. So if you could kind of take a look at these with us and kind of narrate for us here.
Right. This is a picture of me playing bingo with some students in Panama City. These are students in a very impoverished neighborhood. This is in Honduras, in the home that I lived in, a family. And again, we were playing some more bingo, learning calendar words, and we were just having a blast. It was all in Spanish, so they were very patient with me and my Spanish. This is a young man in Panama who he and I were having a good time. The kids are so much fun, as you can tell by our smiles. I also became a madrina, a godmother, when I was in Panama, and that's the ceremony, actually, when I became a godmother to Oscarcito.
Bet you didn't expect that when you traveled.
Didn't expect that one, no. I have a brand new family now in Honduras and in Panama.
Okay, now this was part of when you were there, you're also part of a 6-week field research project in Panama. Tell us about the goal of that project.
That was for me to learn how to better teach English to my students. Because there are so many Hispanic people here in Houston, a lot of my students aren't very motivated at times to learn English because they have so many people who speak Spanish, which is fine. So I went to Panama, where there's a lot of English and Spanish speakers, to learn how to better educate someone in another language.
Okay, well, you traveled to all these countries, even became a madrina during your travels. Tell us what changed in your perspective once you came back to the classroom there at ALIEF ISD.
I learned a lot, but I specifically learned why people come to our country now, why they want to learn about another culture, because they have a very difficult struggle in Central America. They live very simply, very humbly, but they have huge hearts. And so now when I have teachers at school who ask me, why aren't those students learning? Why can't they do this? I can say, look, we need to sit down and have a conversation. You don't quite understand where they've come from. They have taken humongous strides to make it to here, and that's what I bring back to the classroom.
Were you able to better connect with some of the students that are from Central America, too, after you traveled to some of the countries that they're from, and maybe have like a dialogue about it?
Exactly, and with their parents also. It also helped my Spanish a lot, too. But yes, now I understand the struggles that my students and my parents are going through as new immigrants into this country.
And without getting too deep with us here, what are some of the main struggles you're kind of seeing, that kind of a common denominator there?
Just basic survival at times. There aren't jobs sometimes, or the wages are so low, just getting food on the table is their #1 priority. So sometimes education takes a back seat, and that's why when they end up in our system here, they're lacking skills because they've been busy working, trying just to survive, and school has been on the back burner.
Okay, they're coming here just looking for a better life.
Exactly,
Simple
right.
terms. Interesting as well that you were able to not only help students, but teachers as well. Like you were saying, you were able to help them understand situations they're not really understanding with their kids.
At times, a lot of Americans don't understand why people immigrate to another country. But when you go to other countries and you see the struggles that they go through, then you can understand why people go to such great lengths, even to break the law, to go to another country, just for the chance at a better life. And when I explain this to teachers and when I show them the pictures of the home I lived in and so forth, they begin to understand, and they have a whole new perspective about our students.
Okay. Ms. Mabery, thanks for joining us. Thank you for what you do as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, a fund for teachers' educational travel grants are awarded to help empower teachers to pursue opportunities that transform learning for themselves, as you heard, their students and school communities. Well, the application deadline for the 2010 grants of up to $10,000 is January 29th. For details and to apply, visit the website fundforteachers.org. Room by